Hi, my name is Rob Renfro. I'm a United Methodist pastor and president of Good News, an organization that for the past 45 years has worked to keep the United Methodist Church centered on Jesus Christ and faithful to what God has revealed to be His will in the Holy Scriptures. Our church is in a time of crisis, and in just a moment I'm going to ask you to do something to help. This past September, one of our retired bishops, Melvin Talbert, announced his intention to perform a same-sex holy wedding ceremony, his term, for two men in northern Alabama. The bishop of that area, Deborah Wallace Paget, requested that Bishop Talbert not do so. She said that his performing that service would, first of all, be a violation of United Methodist Church law. And she also said she feared that his performing that service there in her annual conference would do damage to the ministries of her churches. Bishop Talbert dismissed her request and performed the service on October the 26th. Bishop Talbert's actions are unprecedented. Every United Methodist pastor knows that we are prohibited from doing anything that would undermine the ministry of any other United Methodist pastor. And bishops have traditionally held themselves to a higher standard. When one bishop comes into another bishop's annual conference, whether it's to preach a sermon at a church, attend a meeting, or conduct a wedding, that bishop always calls and asks permission from the resident bishop. Bishop Talbert's disrespect for Bishop Wallace Paget and his dismissal of her request is shocking, and it's wrong. Bishop Wallace Paget deserved better. And his willingness to damage the ministries of many faithful United Methodist churches in northern Alabama is disgraceful. The churches there deserved better. A few days before the ceremony, the Executive Committee of the Council of Bishops issued a statement that said they had asked Bishop Talbert not to perform the ceremony. And then, strangely, in the very same statement, they went on to praise Bishop Talbert, his intentions that led him to perform the ceremony and to break our discipline. As a matter of fact, the statement spends as much time praising Bishop Talbert as it does commending Bishop Wallace Paget and her commitment to uphold our book of discipline. Bishop Wallace Paget deserved better from her peers. And the churches of the United Methodist Church in northern Alabama and throughout the connection deserved better from our leaders. Now, it may be that our bishops will think, well, we have issued a statement, that's all we need to do. Or it may be that the entire council will issue a statement disapproving of Bishop Talbert's actions and then think that's all we need to do. If that's where this stops, if that's all that our bishops do, it will be an amazing lack of leadership. It will be a stunning lack of moral courage and of integrity. When we needed a statement that the bishops would hold Bishop Talbert accountable, we received a statement that was tepid, institutional. Evidently, those who put the statement together believed that they could hold the church together by making a statement that praises everyone on both sides and tries to come down in the middle. What we need in this moment is not a tepid institutional response to a crisis that's threatening to split us apart. We need real leadership. We need the kind of leadership that says we will hold pastors and bishops accountable, and there will be consequences if you publicly and purposefully break our United Methodist discipline. The truth is we are where we are today because the Council of Bishops failed to act. Over a year ago, Bishop Talbert began to tell publicly United Methodist pastors that they should ignore the part of the discipline that prohibits joining together a same-sex couple in marriage. And when he began to give signals that he himself would do the same, there was no public statement by our bishops. So emboldened by their silence, we are where we are today. Who should hold Bishop Talbert accountable? Who should file charges? Some pastor in some local church? Some parishioner sitting in one of our pews? No. His peers, his colleagues should hold him accountable. The Council of Bishops should file charges against him so that any United Methodist pastor who wants to follow in his footsteps will know that there will be consequences. Even today, 30 United Methodist pastors in eastern Pennsylvania have said that in November they will conduct same-sex marriages. The Council of Bishops needs to act. They need to send a clear message, not through a statement, but by being the ones who file charges against Bishop Talbert. Here's what I'd like for you to do. At the bottom of this video, there's a link, and if you click on it, it will take you to our website. And you'll be given there information about how you can contact your bishop, and we'll do our best to keep you informed on this issue and others in the future that have to do with being faithful to God's Word. And I hope you will encourage your bishop to move the Council of Bishops to file charges against Bishop Talbert. First of all, for undermining the ministry of other United Methodist pastors, and secondly, for celebrating a same-sex union. Both are chargeable offenses. After you've done that, I hope that you will send this link to as many United Methodists as you know, so they can contact their pastors and their bishops. You'll need to do this quickly because the Council of Bishops is meeting in November. So I hope you will act, and I hope you will act right away. The last thing I want to say to you is this: don't give up on the United Methodist Church. Our statement regarding sexuality is biblical and beautifully balanced. It's the right statement. It affirms the sacred worth of all persons and says that all persons should be treated as a child of God. And at the same time, it says that not all practices, not all sexual practices can be condoned by God or by His church. We have a good statement. The fact that people are unwilling to live according to it doesn't say anything about who we are as United Methodists. It simply says that we need our bishops to lead and to do what it takes to keep us united. Pray for the United Methodist Church. Pray for our bishops. And may God grant you and every faithful United Methodist what we need to be ministers of grace and truth. God bless you.